Hi, this is Prabin Gautam, your trusted dental marketing advisor. Now, I hope you had a fantastic time off and really looking forward for kicking 2020. With more patience, more profits with less stress. Now, this is just a quick video. I'm not sure where you are at your Google, because every time I talk with a dentist like you, obviously they talk about, the first thing they talk about SEO. So let's start with SEO, where it is at. Last week, in fact, Google comes up with a new algorithm, and that's affecting a lot of dental and medical industry. So I thought it would be really value for you to understand where everything is heading in a dental marketing. So without further spending any time, let's get onto it. Let me share my screen. Okay, I hope you can see it. So this is a quite interesting graph. Actually came out just last week from a search engine journals, and core, the idea of this graph, as you can see, it's in different industry. Travel, retail, finance, and health is a major uh, algorithm change is happening as we speak right now in Google and moving ahead in 2020. So the biggest impact in different whether computers or desktop or any devices, the major changes happening is as you can see, different trend. First, second result, third result. The major impact is in health industry, and dental is obviously is one of them. So what it's saying is literally your money, finance and health, YMYL, which is money and your life, which is health, is niches got very hard. And we have seen for some of our clients, but glad that we have been building all the expertise all there within that. So that hasn't been really impact, but a lot of the other new clients who is coming on board and the new inquiries coming through, they have seen a lot of dropping in the organic SEO as well as paid campaign. So that's why I just thought probably I can do a quick video giving you a heads up about the latest update about what's happening, and so that you can think out, or you can check out where you are at the moment in your marketing. So without further ado, let's start with each principle. So what Google is saying is, okay, so it has impacted a lot of industry, including dental. And now what it's saying is, it's all from 2020, from last week onward, it is rolling out the new algorithm as a EAT. What is EAT and how to improve it? Sounds like EAT. Okay, what is EAT? So EAT is literally expertise, authority, and trust. So let me a little bit go in depth so that we can all understand and brainstorm here, okay? Expertise. So what does that mean in expertise is, I have seen, a number of dental professionals dealing with dental professionals, they just have just the normal websites, and there is not much photos, or there is not much bios, or even they don't have any certifications or any associations or anything at all. So what LinkedIn is saying is, hey, look, from 2020, especially, we not just, because our idea is to bring on the top on the Google for those practices who've been for more than 5 years, or at least 3 years plus. And that's why it's very hard for startups. So if you're thinking for starting up, or not sure where you are at in your journey, but it's getting a very, very hard, which I'm sure you would have noticed, because the paid per click is increasing, algorithms is changing, a lot of things are happening. So the idea here is to just stick in each principle, okay? So each with a expertise, a certification, professional title. So when you're doing the websites, make sure the bio is up to date, your dentist is up to date. And what it is also saying is specialize. Every dentist should specialize on something, which means whether that may be child, or that may be for ortho, or that may be for, for a specific treatment. So literally, literally quality versus quantity. It's not about how many dentists you have, how many chairs you have on board, but really Google is giving more emphasis to those who specialize in certain things, which also back it up with your high quality content. Now, gone were those days, when you just ask your host, someone, content writer, and say, hey, write about this, write about smiles, write about, some of the big cases. But now, really, it's not about generally. Someone specialist should be writing your content, someone should know about the content. Someone should know about the whole depth of the content, and that's what really the name of the game is, to being really positioned as an expert. And that's what Google is giving more emphasis on those websites. Okay, so that's one thing. Second thing is also what Google is saying is, look, high quality content is good, but at the same time you're very clear on all those contents who are consuming, which means many more than 97% of the websites I have seen is, it's just all the information is right there. So it's really haven't segment anything. So what Google is emphasizing is, look, we'll give you more priority to those websites which is really focused on new patients, existing patients, lapsed patients, or inactive patients. So really it's giving that, making the patient's life easier. So whenever patients are on mobile, right, because gone were those days when patients are just sitting in the computer and just entirely and typing dentist. So they are more typing in mobile, whether that may be through the voice, find me or search me, near me, dentist near me. So all those things should be really segmented on new patients, existing patients, and lapsed patients. Now, what I also believe, or I also teach in my master classes about, is a funnel, dental marketing funnel. So really, it should be very, very clear, not just starting from selling this, low end services, always on a, like $97 teeth white cleaning with some of the bundles, or that might be $197. The other day I see about $37. So look, that's where the market is heading, and there's so many new dentists coming on board. So if you had already been in the business for 5 to 7 years or plus, and you're really expertise, you have a really core expertise, and you have a loyal patients database, then probably the idea here is to also not only keeping up with this low end or low hanging package, but also trying to get from the high end patients. So really understanding, creating the funnels, making very, very easy when people are talking about smiles makeover, or anything high end, or implants or ortho, making sure that they get to try before they buy. It's very important, because a lot of the time we are just focusing on low end, and it's not that profitable. It's very costly, and again, as I mentioned, focusing on more quality rather than quantity, because it's, mind you, whoever you're doing the SEO or Google ads, it's not very cheap, and the paid per campaigns is increasing more and more and more, because Google want to spend, want you to spend more. So idea here is to really understand that higher quality clients which you want to pitch the services. So expertise, I hope that's give you a bit of idea on expertise. Now let's jump to a second fundamental, which is authority. So what does that authority means? Authority, in fact, is it's like, me saying, look, I am a trusted dental marketing advisor, and when people go to the website, there is literally nothing. I don't, which means obviously I can't just have the website, but I need to do about the speakings, engagement, relationship with different associations, industry association, and so forth. Same applies to a dental. So what does that also means is, if you're really focused as a authority, go to authority in the marketplace or in the local area, then you should be positioning about some thought leadership, or influencing some, if there is any speaking opportunities, if there is anything, you must need to present that, and also make sure all those collaterals are captured, so we can use on your marketing collaterals or on your website. So those are very important. Now also authority, in keeping that authority line very clear, blogs and videos are very, very important. The videos, no brainer. So as you would have seen, Facebook Live and a lot of things is coming up. So videos, dental practices, short tips, is how-to videos, or why it is important, is very, very much essentials moving ahead. And if you are not the video person, then obviously podcast, or there might be some Q&A, and obviously with the compliance through ADA, as well as with the compliance, really you have to do in a way such that you position as an authority in your marketplace. Now, also a couple of other ideas for you with surveys is really good, because where the patients are, what they like, because different demographics. We are not dealing with one generations here. 3, 4, I read other day, about 5+ generations we are dealing with. So really there's a whole different marketing channels, because what I believe is a right message to the right patients in the right time, and that's where the conversion happens. So we gotta be very open to different channels. Yeah. And checklist, if there's anything checklist you want to make sure you want to add, so that also helps in authority. So before even coming to cleaning or anything, if there's quick checklist, or if there's anything quick videos about how to, or Q&A, so that is very, very helpful. Now also, most often the dentist asks me, Prabin, look, it's good authority we are building, it's just, can we just build it and just finish? Look, it's an ongoing process. I must need to say it's consistency. Consistency is a key here, getting these collaterals. And if you have already got those collaterals passed, then obviously making it in a live, so people can see it, people can read it. If you have spend your time on any magazines or any associations or any journals or publications, make sure bring it in live and just going through it. So that also helps giving a lot of plus point from Google. So let's move to the third one, trusted. So as trust is very important moving ahead in 2020 in health industry, especially in dental. So getting the patients, because obviously patients are coming here for high treatment, right? High treatment cases. So they want to see, they want after, before. And I'm a great fan of Dr. Michael Sinig, who teach about the big cases where he can, so look, in afters and before cases are very important, so they can see, they can visualize, and it changed the whole experience of the patient. So it's all about informing the patients and getting that trust factor. It's not about trying to sell, and I know it's very hard to take them, but really caring them, genuinely caring them. So that's where you build the trust factor. And no matter which sort of the treatments plan, whether that may be Smile 6 or Social 6, whatever the packages or whatever the treatment or orthos you are doing, you must need to make sure the photos are there, clear explanations, and then there is a really making the life easy, making sure that they don't have to literally think. And again, the messaging should go in the right way, so that builds the trust, not just pushing whether you buy or you don't want to buy. So that's what's happening. Now, a couple of things, if your web designers is doing for you to monitor, or we always give a second opinion for a lot of our clients who say, hey, look, we don't know whether our SEO guys is doing well or not. I just get a report. But probably a couple of things, quick checklist for you is to being a trusted, or your website is trusted, is HTTPS is very, very important. That's one. Second thing is obviously mobile friendly, whether your website is friendly in mobile, making sure it's fully recursive in all devices. iPhone, Android, whatever the device is, iPad, all friendly in mobile. Now, third thing is very important is online booking. I've seen few of the dental sites. Obviously, a lot of have gone to online, but still there's a number of people that just book online and just goes email, and it's not a good patient's experience. The idea here is to, again, book it, lock it, and patients don't have to think. Otherwise, again, it's just a time consuming when ringing, and then the receptionist will be busy, they have to leave the phone. It just takes a lot of time. So making their life easier is a key way. And other thing is also, when we talk about the trust, the biggest thing on the websites is obviously Google, which is Google review. I know there is a process to ask the reviews for the clients, but obviously once you have that Google review, it helps a lot. So there are other key directories as well, but Google review is a number one. So if you are thinking to build that trust factors or some Google review program, then get some reviews, really focus on Google reviews. And second, or other directories might be Yelp, or they might be other like Health Engine. So you really need to get that on board very, very clearly in terms of expertise, authority, and trust. Literally, each principle. Now, also, I want to share about a couple of things here. How does Google know your practice is credible? I mean, that's a really $1 million question. The idea which we discussed about is a dentist bio, short bio, maybe, there there was already bio, just update those bios so that it is up to date, their qualification, education's award, whatever the awards. And also important, I know a lot of the dental industry, they just forget about LinkedIn. They just think, look, I don't go to LinkedIn doesn't do. And it's fine, I understand. But now, especially when you position as an expert, especially when you're dealing with a high level of big treatments or big cases, it's very important. Patients like to see, people like to read, and people like to read what have you done in the past. So also the key is from your website, link them to a LinkedIn. What I'm saying is not every dentist have to, but if you are really specializing on certain things and you want to stand out, it is also important in dental industry. Obviously Facebook, so getting some live, getting some really some provocative content is key. And Instagram, obviously based on your demographic, based on where you are, Instagram is now happening as well, because a couple of years ago, Instagram people is just browsing, is not buying, just browsing, and they go to Google and they buy. But now in last year, they're seeing the whole different trend, that Google people are Googling it, they are checking it, and they are checking about after, before, all those photos, and then they are doing a buying decision. So we shouldn't be forgetting about this. So the idea is to do less, but do in less platform, but do in a way that really it's a that consistency is there, the brand experience is there, and the patients can see it. It's no point doing one or two and then just leaving it, and then it will literally ruin more than build anything. So the idea here is to consistency. Okay, so the second point is photos, videos. Perhaps it might be the time now, after on 2020, take a new photographs, get some Google review 360 degree, so patients can come and experience. They can see without even a virtual tour. They can even see the practice if their practice is in CBD, where they can really experience. Then they can find out, oh wow, that's why you stand out. And some videos. The other day, I was one of our clients, we did the whole sort of videos for literally for a whole 12 months, so that we don't have to bog down, or we don't have to think. So the idea is to do short videos, some experience, where your practice is, locations wise, what's convenient for them, those videos, keeping patients in mind. And perhaps you can also do some interviews, some presentation, if you're doing any presentation or any speaking opportunities you are doing, and literally case studies after, before, as we discussed about, is very, very important. Now, third point, as we touched on, is authoritative websites, directories like Google reviews is number one, Yelp, or that might be Health Engine, or that might be other local directories. So make sure those your website is connected to all those directories. Um, blog is very important. You can't just write on anything, but also really targeting those blogs, not just writing for any topic, but targeting who's the really patients who is looking these blogs. Are they new patients? Are they existing patients? Are they lapsed patients or inactive patients? Really trying to understand. And then through your EDM campaign, through your holistic marketing, then you will really targeting, sending right message to the right patients, right? Because I have seen that, like, many dental practice, what they will do is, they just send a newsletter, to everyone. It's the same thing, but they may not have been visiting for last 3 years, 4 years, and they may not, they are maybe the treatment they have, they haven't been continue for the treatments what they have been doing, or there might be different situations. So really sending the right message to these right patients or right demographics. Also, you can perhaps add predictions. Q&A is very important. Just, patients may have a different question. So if you have a Q&A in your websites, they can see, they can find out how to do a payment, if the payment is installed. All those sort of things is important, very, very important, to make sure everything is covered up on your website. And that's how Google picks up and they say, green tick, everything good. And that brings your website on the top. And if there's any stories or tips and tricks, if you like to share anything. Okay. Social media, obviously, not just posting, but literally a forum discussion, being really engaged on other things, or different. There might be Facebook groups. You're jumping on the Facebook group, or whoever doing your marketing, being involved and inviting them. and adding literally value. It's not trying to sell, because Facebook is not just for the selling, it's a building relationship. So someone have to understand that, okay, how can we personalize? We have also seen for a lot of our dental clients is, hey, look, we can just post it. And to be honest, posting and just posting in the Facebook or Instagram, it's fine, you can do it as well, you even don't have to, because the more personalized it is, the better it is. However, when you come with the ads, running the literally getting the conversion return of that's where you need a specialist, that's where you need a budget, that's where you need people who can drive that. So it's very important to understand the posting and getting the result from the post. And the same applies in Google as well. So the other point is news, magazine articles you can share. So number of association, including ADA, VB or ADA, different posts. There is they share it, so you can perhaps reshare those, or any industry trends, you can do that as well. And as I touched before, newsletter is very critical. It's not just sending through the email, but also SMS. Some of the top dental practice has been also trying to not just the booking appointment, but also sending some really nice piece. I don't want to mention here the particular name, but one or two of the leading dental practices, and now that's corporate is doing so through SMS, through different touch points. So sending the right message, and then people love that, and they consume. So monthly newsletter, at least a monthly, is important. Make sure that you talk regularly with the database, not just the finding new, because to be honest, new is good, but it's very challenging, and SEO is not all the marketing there. I always say to a lot of dental practices is, look, if the dental practice is 7 to 10 years or at least 5 years plus, they're already sitting in the gold mine. So what you got to do is really penetrate it, find where they're at, and communicate the right message. So that's for the newsletter. Other thing which we are seeing a lot, and now Google is emphasizing, is landing page. So landing page in our services, different landing page, maybe implants separate landing page, smiles maker is separate, social 6 would be a separate, or anything Invisalign, that would be separate. So really understanding what sort of the high end and low end and high end service. It's not always like new patients invitation 127 or 197, then attracting them, all these lower end patients where even they don't go to cleaning, full cleaning or any other thing, and then you literally, I would say, as a spray and pray. So literally you're pushing a lot of dollar, and it's not profitable. So the idea here is to, yes, new patients, you can do that, but perhaps also focused on, if your practices can deliver those big treatments or those things, then perhaps focus on other high-end services as well through a landing page. And how that works is, obviously, you create those landing page, people will come, get in Google, people will come, they fill the information, and then even before the receptionist call, there is some emails, there is another email goes, welcome, okay, you have your inquiry is this. And when they jump on the Facebook, they can see the same pixels ad, side banner ad, they say, oh wow, I just feel this, and there's so it's all creating a brand awareness. And there is a simple fact is, because as we are as a patient, as we are an end user, we are getting a lot of touch points, a lot of marketing, advertisement. People are already getting so many things. So people are not just buying, sending one newsletter or one Google ads. I believe is there should be at least 7 to 12 touch points before even the patients land for these high services. So I don't know where you are at, but probably it might be a good time to think, look, and find out the ways, how can you really talk with these patients and add value, so that then you can do a high-end services. So I hope that's been a really value to you. Again, simple as that, the SEO is changing, the algorithm is changing. You must need to stick on the EAT principle. I know it's a bit tricky, but you start collecting, and it doesn't happen overnight. I think you must need to get the trusted dental or trusted advisor or trusted marketing person who really understand that full service, who understand how to bring high-end clients with the low-end new patients, but really trying to help you position as a go-to person in your industry or go-to person in your local place. So on that note, Thank you so much. I will see you on the next one. And if there's any feedback, please feel free to send me a quick email. And yeah, feel free to share this video, like this video, or any comments. Yeah, feel free to like it. And other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.